it's Aimee Smith here. I just wanted to say a big thank you to all of my 3,000 YouTube subscribers. I don't even know why you subscribe to me because I don't even upload that many videos. But when I do hit milestones like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, then I tend to do these kind of things. So, lesson to be learned, if you subscribe to me, then I'll upload more videos. So, just a little bit of like marketing in there. So basically I asked you guys if you wanted to send me through some questions. I'd be happy to answer them in this video. So let's get to Question 1. What made you want to be a voice actor, and is it tricky being a voice actor? So basically while I was in uni, I discovered that I couldn't really balance being in musical theatre productions, which I had done previously, and I needed something that was still going to make me happy in a really creative way. I tried TV extra work as well, and I was like, it's not the right fit for me. There was just something that didn't really align with my creative flow. I don't know. And so I was looking up different styles of voice acting, and I came across voice acting and thought, wow, may as well just give it a try. So I had my desktop Mac, and I had like the inbuilt microphone that I'd use, and I just started voicing for projects 7 years ago. Is it tricky? Yes, in the beginning I thought I was pretty good and obviously I think every voice actor feels this. When they look back over their work, they're like, man, I was crap. And you learn it along the way. You can't rush these things. Take voiceover courses. You need to really just audition, because all of the feedback you receive, you may disagree with it at the time, but in retrospect you're like, that really made sense, and it definitely applies to me now, and it's made me better as a result. So it definitely is tricky, and you constantly need to push yourself outside of that comfort zone, or you feel that you get really bored with your own work, honestly. And I think that's kind of where I'm at the moment too. Like, I love what I'm doing, but I need to push myself more to audition for roles that I typically wouldn't have a couple of years ago in order to still really enjoy what I'm doing. All right, question 2. What inspired you to be a voice actor? Basically kind of what I'd said before. I remember trying out the voiceover in the beginning, and I came across a lot of fan projects for My Little Pony, and so I'd started watching it as a result. So I kind of did things in reverse. And I'd started watching it, and I was really intrigued by the voiceover. My friends teased me all the time for liking the show, but it really inspired me. I feel like that's really what got me in the right zone for video game voiceover. Like, I love character voices, and I really believe that was the beginning for me. All right, question 3. Favorite accent or dialect to voice? It's probably a little unoriginal, but my own, because I don't get to utilize it as much as you'd think. 90% of my work is probably your general North American accent. And I always kind of try to slide in an Australian take if I feel it would be appropriate for the project or the specific role. But yeah, I do feel like I need to push my natural accent much more, because I can play... I feel I can play much more with my general North American accent, and I can portray lots of different characters, but I really need more experience with doing that with my Australian accent. So I would have to say that. Question 4. What is your favourite video game of all time? The Misadventures of Tron Bonne. I adored that game when I was a child. I would replay it constantly. It was actually a gift from my uncle, and he probably never realised just how much of an incredible gift that was to give me. I remember looking it up on eBay a couple of years ago, and I think it's like $200 US. So it was crazy expensive. And my partner tried to get it through like a PC emulator or something, and I tried playing it and it was really glitchy and it just wasn't the same, but I adored that game. And obviously like your Spyro, Danganronpa, oh god, there's so many games. So many games. But Misadventure, like from day dot, basically. That was probably my first go-to constantly playing game. I played through it like 4 times. Loved it. Question 5. Question 1 of 2. Nice flattering feedback in the beginning. Never would have guessed you were Australian, and even in your demo reels you hide your accent extremely well. How do you do it? I need to say I definitely recommend Brittany Lauder's ABC anime class, because in my first audition from memory, she didn't pick that I was Australian, but she knew that I didn't have a general North American accent. And listening back to my initial audition, I could definitely pick it, like my vowels were very off. But I've done a teaching degree, and one of my classes was kind of in linguistics and everything, and so I think it was really important to understand how I natively speak. And like, I know that Australians use the schwa vowel, so when we say words like mother, father, sister, you have the sound at the end. And so upon realizing that I did that, I knew that I needed to make it sister and mother and brother and that kind of thing. So the sound is very prominent, like your controlled vowels are very important in the North American accent. And so it was kind of about me, sorry, it's very loud, kind of about me understanding how I speak in order to best adjust that. But once again, it took practice. Like, I remember I voiced for a PC game called Haunting at Cliff House years ago. Like, it was one of my first PC releases, I think, from memory. And it was in the American, and I needed to do quite a few retakes because they were picking up on words that I said, like, instead of, I would say bean. I actually don't even do it now as an Australian. I say bin, or ben, basically. And so just like auditioning and being cast in these roles, you always are going to come across words that you stumble over. And even when I'm voicing in a really fast-paced role, I do tend to trip over my vowels. My vowels and the controlled R sounds are my big thing. So I'm still kind of working on it now. I'm always going to come across words and I go, oh, how do you say that in that accent? And that's what I'm finding with British dialects at the moment too. But yeah, it's always good fun. You're always learning. Question 5. What would be your dream role? What character, advertisement, movie or cartoon would you adore to lend your voice in? I think it would be pretty typical to say My Little Pony. Honestly, I kind of see it in terms of milestones. I don't have a dream role in mind. I would love to voice for Danganronpa. Like any game that I play now, I would love to voice in something that really emulates that style or be in those games. But admittedly, I do try to be relatively realistic because I am in Australia. I'm not going to have the same opportunities as somebody who lives in Dallas, as somebody who lives in New York and LA and that kind of thing. So I try not to go too far. I kind of see it in terms of milestones. Like, I would like to voice for a Switch game. I would like to voice for a US commercial, those kind of things, as opposed to specific roles, because I don't want to let myself down. I mean, I think I'm dreaming big enough as it is. Question 6. If you could be a supervillain, not a hero because you love playing villain characters, what would your power of ultimate evil be? I don't know. That's tough. I really can't answer that. Like, I'd love to control the elements, but I don't really have an original response for this. I'm sorry, I feel really lame. I just love voicing villains, honestly. Regardless of their power, I just think they're going to be awesome anyway. Sorry, I'm kind of skimping out on that answer. Next question. What's your favorite movie to watch? I'm a bit lame in that I don't like to rewatch a lot of movies, so it's probably hard to pinpoint one or even two, because I kind of watch them and I love them, but then I kind of move on to the next thing. I did love Greatest Showman, like just talking about a recent movie. I've watched Singing in the Rain a bunch of times in Chicago. Like, I still love my musical films. I have to say they're kind of my go-to. But yeah, I do watch everything. Like, I love rom-coms. I still love your thriller movies, the musicals. So I watch a bit of everything. So I think it's a little bit hard for me to pinpoint one favorite movie. But yeah. Next one. Was there any roles that you favored the least? I think this would kind of be a lose-lose situation for me, because obviously I can't announce any roles that I didn't like playing. Like, that's not going to look good on me. It's not going to look good on them. I think every voiceover artist has their niche. They have something that they're very, very passionate about. For me, it's video games, and I'm slowly trying to get into commercial work now, and I'm really enjoying that. But you're always going to voice for things outside of your realm in order to make ends meet and to expand your voiceover craft. So, I don't know. There's been things that I've voiced for that I've needed to do like upwards of 5-10 revisions for, and I kind of think to myself, was I the right person for this? Surely this is painful for you and it's painful for me. So in those kind of situations, it's not so enjoyable anymore when you feel like you're, I don't know, when you're booked for something that you're not necessarily the right fit for. There's also been other roles that I've voiced lots of similar roles for particular projects, and it could be really vocally demanding, and I would need to turn down additional roles of that similar nature because I just physically couldn't take it anymore. I was getting sick afterwards, and I thought in the long run that's not beneficial to me because I have to delay the remainder of my work. So in cases of that, it's probably not very enjoyable. Everyone's going to voice for things that they're not necessarily 100%. Well, that was rude. Everyone's going to voice for things that they're not necessarily 100% passionate about. And that's part of the craft. Like, you're going to do audiobooks, you're going to do narration, you're going to do commercials, you're going to do video games. It would be really rare for somebody to kind of stick to one particular realm. It doesn't mean that you don't find things that you like about different elements. You're always learning. You're learning what works for you and what works for that particular category of voiceover. So I don't know. You're always going to find something that you like. But in general, I love voiceover, honestly. I don't have a lot of situations like that unless it destroys my voice, and then I'm like, this isn't fun. But that's about it. All right. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me. You were so quick with your questions, and I had a lot of fun. I should upload more videos. I think it's my vanity that gets in the way. When I have flyaways, like, I get distracted, and so I kind of look down at myself, or when there's noises outside. But I should do it more because obviously the more that I do it, the more that I get better at it, and it's just a self-conscious thing. But thank you so much for joining me. Feel free to subscribe or follow me on Twitter because I'm becoming far more active, and I hope you continue to enjoy my work. Thank you so much.